Let's have a look at it. Yes, have a look. I'm ready for
Have
it.
a look.
I'm ready. Oh my God. Are you kidding? That is a that is a specimen.
I won't be a second.
Peg 4, folks. Look at that for a big old expanse of water. Now, we are on the dam. I'm going to say that this area, over the last few weeks, has been pretty consistent. We're not end peg. Peg 2's end peg. But, unfortunately, the fish might have moved, because at the weekend we had, I'll give a wave, we had a match here, or the lads had a match here, and everyone along this wall blanked. So it could be a tough old day that we could be facing. We've got a bit of a plan. Lee's going to get here a little bit late because he's stuck in traffic, and we'll go through all the details when he gets here, but we've got a bit of a plan. 2 rods. Got my bait down there. Ooh, nice selection of bait, very simple though. First chuck out is going to be at 55 metres, and then we're going to take things from there. What I don't want to do is chuck too far too early. Everyone comes Boddington and thinks that they've got a cast to the moon straight away, and I don't want to start doing that. So I'm going to take it easy to start with, and then we will maybe pay a bit of line off the reel and start searching for fish. But hopefully we get off the mark quick. If not, we need to get our thinking caps on.
Right, something that we know you guys absolutely love to see is some big carp. And we've come to what I believe is one of the best big carp waters in the UK. It's Boddington Reservoir. The trouble is, it is a freezing cold winter's day. And we all know freezing cold days, carp are going to shoal up nice and tight. Now, in recent times, they've been in different areas of the lake. So I'm hoping today we can find Rob down on one of those areas where he might get a few bites. But if he's not, if there's not as many fish, we're going to have to look at it a bit differently. No doubt it'll be trying to nick 1 or 2 bonus carp. So things like timing, obviously the feed, the presentation, all those things are critical for today. And no doubt there'll be a few stories as we'll go along the bank and see how the other guys are doing it, and if they're catching a few fish as well. This is going to be Boddington Reservoir and hopefully a few big carp. So for this week's midweek encounter, we can search out a Rob Wutan. Look at this little den he's got going on here. Oh, is it? Oh, right. This is what the big. Is this the plan for the big carp? Is it?
Yes. If we catch a big boy, he's going on there.
Very nice. So tell me, we're on peg 4 on the dam, aren't we? Here on a Tuesday open. I've just been saying to the guys, probably the biggest average size of fish you fish for in match fishing in the UK.
Yeah, these.
How about that?
I think. I mean, we've got a chance of catching a 20+ pounder today, anything up to £30. But I think an average is like £10. If you get one, it's going to be £10. I'm saying.
Yeah.
But getting one is going to be the ask, because it's. Listen,
it's dropped cold, hasn't it? It's dropped cold. Still, the anglers, you haven't got loads of room either. It's only every other peg.
Every other peg. I'm going to say these matches are never about bagging up. You know, even when this venue fishes well, you're talking like 10 fish is good.
Well, 10 fish won the match last week, didn't it? £100 won the match last week.
So I
10
think
fish.
Target is to get a bite to start with. That's the target. then the next target is to get another bite. Then the next target is to get another bite. We're going to take each fish as it comes.
Okay. Because it's a long match, isn't it? It's a 6-hour match.
6-hour match. If we, like I said, if we can get a bite, it'll be a bonus. But I think if we can catch like 5 fish, I think that's going to be absolutely mega.
Yeah.
It's going to be a relaxing day. We're going to have lots of time to talk and to eat during the match.
Have a good study of the tactics.
Yeah, because it's generally cast out, and your cast usually lasts for a long time. A lot of bites here.
So give me an idea then. How long are you going to cast it each time?
I'm having half an hour for
30-minute
cast.
chucks.
30-minute chucks. So I'm chucking it out. We're going to talk about the tactics and where to cast later on, but I'm chucking it out. I'm sitting there for 30 minutes. If I haven't got a bite, I'm having another chuck in a different spot. But 30 minutes, I'm prepared to wait for a bite.
Right.
It's going to be, you look at the expanse of water.
Oh,
We need to put something out there super attractive that a fish is going to find us.
Yeah.
And we're going to catch him. And that might take 30 minutes for that fish to find us. So, like I say, not many fish. It's going to be a nice, slow, steady, patient day.
Yeah, I mean, this is an area, just to give the guys a little bit of insight, this is a weird area here. It's on the dam wall, which is right, you see the main road there behind the reservoir. Now, on the dam, sometimes it can be the place to be. And last week, fished really well. However, at the weekend, just gone, it was a full set of blanks.
Yeah, there was a struggle along here. Let me tell you.
So it tells you that, you know, if there is 5 or 6 fish caught along on this stretch today, I would say that's probably what's going to happen, because I don't see it being a 10 fish day, only because I'm holding the camera, my hands are freezing, and
wind isn't warm, is it?
It's just a cold wind, and I've just got a feeling, Rob, it doesn't feel like a big numbers of carp day. So what we're hoping to show you guys is, you know, how to be the one that ends up with 2 or 3 fish. That's what we're hoping, Rob, isn't it?
Yeah, and I've got to reiterate, patience is the name of the game. Look, that's the first cast for 25, just coming up to 26 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking probably 4 minutes time, we'll have a reel in, and then we can show the guys a little bit more of the tactics that we're going to try and catch a fish with today.
Sounds spot on.
Get out there.
It is competition time, and what a prize for you we've got this time around, Rob. The incredible rod that you've got there, talk us through it.
Right, this is the High S power feeder. This is the special version. It's 13 foot in length. This is the rod that I use for all of my distance fishing, Lee, up to 100 metres. So anything from like 50 metres to 100 metres, whether I'm bream fishing, whether I'm method feeder fishing, big water like Boddington, this is the rod I use. These rods retail at £430.
Wow, that's a top quality rod.
This rod is ridiculous. It is fantastic. Right, there's some key features to this rod. Big guide. So let's put him together, shall we?
Put it together. This is from Free Spirit, isn't it? This
rod,
this
rod's a Free Spirit rod. Free Spirit have really made waves in match fishing circles over the last few years for making quality rods. The finish on these rods is superb. So
I've walked around places like Boddington recently, and I've seen a lot of these rods on the bank. It's obviously very popular.
These are the rods, mate, and this particular rod has been designed with Boddington in mind, and you'll see that with a few of these key components. So
okay,
let's go down. Lovely skeletal reel seat, you know, commonplace on a lot of high-end, top quality rods now. You can get this rod, it becomes available in a cork handle or the abbreviated EVA handle as well.
Okay, yeah, they look quite cool, don't they?
A bit more carpy style rod, really nice.
I'm
really
a traditional
nice.
cork man myself.
I like traditional cork, and the prize that we've got for you is one of these rods with a traditional cork, just the same rod that I use. So, got a lovely little hook keeper there, really nice.
Smart
Aesthetics,
finish,
I think it's smart.
Looks cool,
now, this carbon finish, if I was to actually scratch all this carbon up, you know, on a normal rod, the resin sort of gets scratched up and becomes a problem. This rod doesn't happen. You know, you can't really scratch it. You get a pound coin or some keys and scratch it along, literally it just wipes
Yeah,
clean.
so it's hard wearing, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks brand new. Massive guides.
Yeah,
now,
big. They're quite, for a big guide, it looks nice and light as well, I've got to say. You know, they're Fuji guides on there, aren't they? I think so. Really good quality.
Massive guides for chucking a long way. Obviously, you can use a big reel on this rod, cast a long way. Big guides help you with that. It's not blessed with loads of guides because when you're casting a long way, you want to cut down the friction as much as possible. More guides, more friction. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guides on the rod, and then we've got something that Free Spirit are really famous for. They're hollow quiver tips. These tips,
What do you think gives a hollow quiver tip an advantage then?
the snapback lee. You know when you're casting out and you're casting
The
a long
recovery.
way, the recovery of that
Makes
tip
sense, yeah.
makes a massive difference. We've all been fishing, we've all had a dready crack off, haven't we? We've tried to cast a long way.
Speak for yourself.
We've tried to cast a long way and we've snapped our line on the cast because when we're casting and we're using too light a quiver tip, or the tip is wallowing as it goes out, it's causing tangles, you get a crack off. Hollow tips, just get rid of that altogether. And for method feeder fishing, a hollow tip, you know, when you're looking for a bite that just literally tows your rod in, hollow tips are perfect. Now, if you go over to the website www.cuttingedgecomps.co.uk, you've got a chance to win one of these rods delivered to your door. £430 worth of rod.
Yeah, it's a great rod. Rob, it's something that I've seen you use a lot. Obviously, I've spent a lot of time with Rob, and he uses this effortlessly. I must say, every time I looked at him cast, I'm thinking, he can't be that good at casting. Like, it just can't be the case. So I'm assuming this rod's playing a big part in that. So it's a beautiful thing. Like Rob says, you can win this rod. It's a great opportunity to win what looks like a fantastic prize. One thing I think Rob enjoys is the old big lob out, although not the furthest he's ever cast that one. But come on then, Rob, tell us a little bit about your thinking on casting and where we're going today.
Right. The last thing I want to do is go to my limit too early. We've talked about this loads of times, haven't we?
Yeah.
When we're doing our videos on our members section, we talk about maximising the right part of your peg at the right time. So I don't want to cast too far early on. I started at 55 metres. You can nick an odd fish at 55 metres, you know, early on this sort of venue. So I don't want to go 100 metres straight away, risk casting over the fish and spooking the rest of the fish in my peg. I'm now at a point where, because I've not had a fish at 55, started to push out.
Okay.
And what I'm looking to do is, I've got 2 rods set up. So this is something I like to do here, and I think it works really well. I've just hit the clip at 60 metres. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay off from that clip after I've sank the line. I'm going to pay off up to the butt ring once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So there, if I do that, is about 2.5 metres that I've just paid off. And that does a couple of things. One, when I hook a fish, I've now got, if I hook a fish,
nice, yeah.
if I hook a fish, I've now got a little bit of extra line. If he tears off, I've got a bit of extra line that I can hopefully turn him in that time. But also, my next cast is going to be 2.5 metres further if I don't get a bite. So if I don't get a bite,
Why do you think that's important? Tell me why you are saying...
I just think these winter fish, if I don't get a bite, I can't build up an area of bait because they don't want a lot of bait at this time of year. I don't want to build up an area of bait in one spot. I want to almost search for the fish. So each time I cast in, it's a new spot. And by going 2.5 metres each time, I'm not making a big move because I might need to go 100 metres at the end of the match to try and nick a fish into that, you know, into that area where the fish are. Now, just said I've got 2 rods set up. What I'm going to do while this rod is out is stick that rod up at this distance at 60 metres, just in case I catch a fish there. I'd be foolish not to have a cast back onto that spot, wouldn't I?
Okay, yeah.
So I've literally just cast onto the cliff at 60 metres. We're talking, you know, roughly, because I'm peeling it off. I know it's about 2.5 metres to within this much, you know, we're not talking, it's a massive expanse of water. So if I catch a fish at this distance, I've got to have a chuck at that same distance, haven't I? So
makes sense.
I'm going to stick that up now at 60 metres. So if I catch a fish, I'll just pick up this spare rod, cast back out to almost exactly the same spot.
Yeah,
if
keeps you busy.
If I don't catch a fish, I've then got this rod, which is another 2.5 metres further.
62.5 metres.
To go further, and then I'll repeat the process. So I'll peel off the line again, so I'm creeping out to a new spot, stick up that rod at 62.5 because my sticks are at 2.5 metres. Nice coincidence. And I'm trying to search for the fish all the time.
So what? I find that really interesting. There's going to be a point in the day though when you're going to think, do you know what? I need to make a big move. Because
I'm hoping there isn't, but there could be. And
I like that because basically you're going, if I'm going to win and catch 7 or 8 fish, I kind of need to find where they are.
Yeah, let's just say, for instance, obviously, we've got these 13-foot rods today. They're a beautiful rod. With the wind favourable, you could probably cast 110, 115 with these rods.
Wow.
You know, they're a beautiful rod for doing that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's a big cast, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the rod itself looks to me designed for casting.
It's designed,
you know what I mean? It's designed. Is it literally this sort of thing in mind? Big water, big method chucking.
So, in theory, we've got between 50 metres or 55 metres to 110, 100 metres, something like that, as a distance to fish in.
Yeah.
What I can't do is make 10-metre jumps all the time because I'm just going to run out of water if I'm not catching anything.
Sure would, yeah.
So by just going 2.5 metres to start with, then maybe 2 hours from the end, we might have to say, let's make a 15, 20-metre jump. Let's go to 90 metres. Let's go to 100 metres.
I see.
At least we've left that water nice and safe.
Yeah, because like for example, just as an example,
didn't set the stopwatch.
Sorry, mate. Sorry. Well, you're 5 minutes. You're 5 minutes. What I was going to say was, if you had 2.5 metres at a time, starting at 55, my maths tells me in 2 hours you've only moved to 65.
Yeah.
Right. So in the 6 hour match, like let's say after 4 hours, which still leaves you 2 hours by the way. It's not like you're running out of time. You've only gone to 75 metres. So then you might say, do you know what? In one go, I'm going to go 95.
Yeah,
and
big
then
move.
Almost make the big move.
What this gives me a chance of doing as well is looking around because matches are great, you know. You sometimes think that more angles on the bank, it harms your chances, but also you can all work together without really knowing it because I can watch what the other anglers are doing, see if they catch a fish. They might catch a fish fishing super long, they might catch a fish fishing super short, and then I can make a decision, obviously based on what the other guys are doing as well. So it's not all about what I'm doing, it's about what the other lads are doing. And I keep saying it's going to be a patient day. I need to know that when I chuck out, everything is sitting perfectly and it's all in the right spot.
Yeah, well, I think we should take a little look at your setup because I'm sure the guys at home will be curious. We have done it again. Underwater footage is a game changer when you're trying to learn about fishing, and we have gone and got some incredible stuff.
The clearest footage we have ever got. Big fish feeding right in front of the camera. We're feeding, hooking fish, playing fish in front of the camera. We see exactly how those big fish react in a fishing situation.
Baits such as pellet and corn, worm and caster, and remember, there is hours of underwater footage, method feeder, float, margin for big carp, shallow fishing. It's all there on the Edge website, www.anglingedge.co.uk. And now you can join on YouTube too. If you love YouTube, join on our Edge YouTube channel and you can watch all this incredible underwater footage. It's looking nice, Rob. Is it time for a recast?
It's time for a recast. Now, what I do not like to do when I'm chucking out for such a long time is mould my feeder up, leave it sitting there for half an hour, all made up. So I'm just literally going to mould it up now before I reel in. So
let's see what you got.
I've got my pellet mix.
I tell you what, right, got to hand it to you. They look very attractive.
They're
talk
nice,
us through the pellets because they look really. I mean, is it the same as we've used in the videos?
We've got 3 pellets in there. We've got SwimStim 3 mils carp pellets. We've got SwimStim 2 mil carp pellets, and then we've got some SwimStim F1.
Right.
Obviously carp pellets.
So
the F1 gives it the
F1
yellow colour.
carp pellets.
Yeah, but the F1 is a flavouring, isn't it?
I
It's this
know that, I'm
flavouring.
joking.
So that flavour in there, so you can get 2 mil pellets. And obviously I've soaked them up
Yeah.
in my EVA.
Yeah.
Bit of water in there, give them a good shake up.
Am I seeing a little bit of dust on the
Right,
ones in
I'm
the
going to
thing?
show. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you in a second.
It looks nice.
So that's how my pellets have been prepared.
Yeah.
What I have then done, because I think a little bit of ground bait is good. It just nips everything together, and also because the particles are so small in ground bait, it gives it a bit of extra attraction. So there's some F1 crust expander in there, tiny little bit, literally just a tiny scattering. It just fills the gaps when I'm loading the feeder, adds a bit of smell, and also the expander style of ground bait, because it's a crust expander, it wants to sort of
Doesn't bind, does it?
It doesn't bind.
Wants
It
to
wants
help push it apart.
It wants to push
Love
it
it.
apart.
Love
yeah.
it.
So, right, let's load this feeder up because I'm itching to reel in.
Sorry,
We've
got a large.
we've had a half-hour cast.
Large Banjo XS.
Large Banjo XS. We've got little yellow wowser on.
Yeah.
I've tested him in my little tub to make sure he's sitting right. I want my wowser sitting up like that and my hook sitting flat on the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay? So, into the bottom of the feeder, because I want to give my hook bait a chance of staying in that ball, I'm going to load my feeder up really, really firmly in that bottom. And you can all see that, I can still see the stem.
You've like left this, it's almost quite a little target in it. That's just.
I've got all the walls still
Yeah. Very
exposed
nice.
there.
Very nice.
And then I'm going to lay my hook bait in. Yeah. Lay him in there. Let's get him sitting right. Want everything nice and
Yeah, you
flat.
take your time, make sure it's
Yeah.
right, don't you?
And then I'm going to put these pellets on top. And I'm going to go quite high with these, but at the same time, I'm not going to ram these pellets on. I'm going to make sure that they are loose enough, because these pellets, I want these pellets breaking down after probably 2 or 3 minutes of it being in the water. It's got to survive a long cast, but I want those pellets breaking down after 2 or 3 minutes of it being in the water.
Have you ever seen a work of art like this, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, not being funny.
Okay, so look.
Hang on, Rob, there's one pellet out of place there.
It's okay.
Oh, no, there isn't. Brilliant. Yeah, no, that's amazing, that is.
So that top layer is going to break down. The bottom layer is never going to break down.
Got close up of your head there.
Okay. It's going to survive the cast, and I'm really confident that's fishing. Now, we're using quite heavy lines today. We're using 020 hook length. So I've tried my hardest with my rig to make sure it's not springing off the ball, but I've got to accept that 020 is going to probably want to spring that hook bait off of the ball.
Of course.
That's why I've left the walls on that feeder quite high and done that first layer really low. So those walls are just helping to keep the hook bait in the feeder.
I notice you're not. So this is the rod you've added 2.5 to, isn't it?
I've added 2.5 to this, so we're going to go out now. So we're chucking a bit further. Let's get him out there.
That is an embarrassingly easy 62.5 metre cast, to be fair.
I mean, that is deep there, you know.
How big is that? 45 gram, that feeder?
That's 30 gram feeder. So it's zooming out there beautifully.
Not being funny, that again, I don't want to give you too much credit, but you totally made that look so easy, mate. Like literally 62.5 metres and flicked it there. So we're doing the same again, are we?
Yep, we're going same again.
This means we've got to go and stick the other rod back up again.
Yeah, of course.
Which I tell you what I like about it, Rob. It can be a very. I've come here before, and you can almost get into a bit of a almost lazy mentality, can't you? Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. You just chuck it out, sit down, do nothing.
Yeah. Whereas like now, you're almost like. I used to just think this when I went sea fishing with my dad. He's just chucking a lead in the sea, but you know it was an operation he had going. Like his 2 rods were ready, he'd be there working them, getting his timings right, and this is what you're effectively doing. So you're now gonna, once this is definitely set, you're gonna start your stopwatch, stick your other rod up at 62.5, aren't you?
It's you know what's important? That stopwatch is important. You know, people talk about those stopwatches. The people that use them and understand them, they get it, don't they?
Yeah.
But you know, if you talk to someone who's not used one before,
they think it's a faff, don't they?
Yeah, big time.
But this sort of thing makes a massive difference. You can time your bites, because if we do find a pocket of fish, or if we do get a run of bites going, we'll sort of see a pattern, won't we? We'll know that bite times are at a certain time, so then we can maximise the day.
Just while you do that other rod, I'm going to give the guys at home a bit of an update for the match. So we are an hour in, and it's a little bit of your worst fears as a match angler, because this match there's 7 anglers here on this bank, and there's 13 literally as far away as you can get on the other bank. Now, we've heard that those 13 anglers, by the end of the first hour, there was 10 carp caught in those 13 pegs. And in these 7, Jack here has caught a carp and nobody else has had a carp. So for me, I feel like that's telling me, when I find out information like that, it tells me that the carp are feeding. The carp, it's not like they're not feeding, because there's been 10 caught over there. But obviously the carp are over there today. The location of this dam means that they're not here, which is typical winter carp fishing. So Rob's got to basically adjust his day, in my opinion. Right, he's fishing let me just count up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. There's 8 anglers here, right? He is fishing an 8 peg section today, in my eyes, because he's obviously not going to compete with those 12 over there. And every time I go fishing, I always take that mentality. I always have that mentality of, right, how can I do the best from where I am? It's pointless, Rob, going to 100 metres straight away and trying to keep up with those guys over there, only to blow his peg. Whereas in reality, maybe like 2 big fish could win this section. So he's going to have to get everything bang right at the right time if he wants to be one of those 2. At the moment, Jack's got the lead. Go on, Jack. You've got our fish, haven't you, Jack? So
I'll tell you what our problem is, Lee. You know, when you're fishing for winter carp, we all know they pod up into an area and they like an area. And you go on another lake and you think, well, maybe they're going to make it over to me at some point, or maybe I might have to just reach the edge of those fish. But
I'm saying that's about 900 metres.
Are they like a mile away from us?
Yeah. So you might as well be at Lindo, mate.
Yeah. So we could be a million miles away from the fish, couldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Which is what I was just saying to the guys at home. I think you're fishing for a section. I think you're trying to win this section with potentially 2 big fish, 5 fish. We don't know.
One big fish could do it.
One big fish could do it. Which, you know, that's match fishing, and obviously the guys who are coming on these matches, you can see they're in the zone for it. All their gear is set up for it, their mentality set up for it, and getting everything right is the key. So I'm going to have a little sneaky peek at what some of them are doing, actually, because obviously these guys fish here all the time, and as good as Rob is, I think that there's going to be a few little gems. So I'm going to have a little walk along, see what I can see.
Punch bread, and that's all the winter.
Yeah, so on your side tray, you've literally got bread and pellets. Tell me, why bread? Why have you gone with the bread?
Well, it's just a good bite.
Yeah, it just seems to pick them out, does it?
Good all round bite. They're all using the bread anyway.
Are they? So is that what everybody's on?
They all use the bread, yeah.
So what are you doing with it then? You're punching it. Show me what you're doing with it.
Here we are, look.
Yeah. So you're like really compacting it, almost like a bread wafter.
Yeah, look, really compact.
How many slices is that then in there?
I'll show you what I do.
Yeah, show us what you do. Yeah.
There's one there.
Yeah.
And then I'll turn it over and I'll put one on. That then is the...
So you've got 3 slices, you squeezed it right down. Is that 8 mil?
8 mil, yeah. 8 mil.
Brilliant.
Yep, 8 mil.
Is that going on a big hook there? So that's your, like, you've just wound that in after like...
14.
So that was your previous cast, wasn't it?
That's the previous one I just took out.
Wow, so it was even on the hook after like 40 minutes.
Yeah. You can see that's been out there 25 minutes and it's still on the hook.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah. It's what you believe in, isn't it?
Well, obviously, and you must have caught plenty of carp here if you keep doing it.
I'm a very firm believer in this, I'm afraid. I do quite well in it, actually, yeah.
Brilliant, I absolutely love it. Well, there's a little thing for you folks.
Okay.
So I've had a wander round to the other side to Rob's over there to see some action, and I haven't had to wait long. We were told that there'd been a few fish caught around this side, and I've just spoke to him as I've got here, and apparently everybody here is on one, so I'm assuming this is two here, but that's good, isn't it, when they're spread out like that, like everybody's had one. It just keeps everything open. There's such big fish here. You know, you think about it, you're trying to be so patient to make sure you get a few fish. Let's sneak around the other side of the umbrella. You're trying to be so patient, aren't you, to hope that you get a fish. And then, you know, you're playing them under your feet. I mean, I've just left the other side and two fish is winning Rob's section now on the end peg, this end peg, the other end from Rob. And he said they're 2 for £27, he thinks. So, you know, when you're being patient like that and you're waiting for those big fish, obviously this is a crucial time. Which must be great, you know. Means you get some exciting moments. You can see there's his den. Look, he's been in the den. Let's right his feet now, so I'll see what sort of size it is. Loving his ringtone on his phone. Let's just have a little look along here. So there's a lot more anglers along here, as you can see. They're all standing up along that far bank. Look, stand up, guys. But you know, I think that must give them all a lot of confidence. You see, when there's one fish and got a dedicated follower of fashion as his ringtone. I'm loving that. I think even in winter you've got to remember, if you're playing a big one, I've wound it in from 70 metres, you know, even with a big hook on, this is the crucial moment. This is why a lot of them fish elasticated feeders. It's not the biggest carp in Boddington. Great job. Great job. Great job. Oh, he's even got a round of applause there. So look, let's have a little wander along here, see what's been caught. But nice to actually see some action. So I said I wanted some action. You've just been waiting for me, Wayne, haven't you?
I have just been waiting for you to come round.
Yeah, brilliant. So Wayne's into his first fish of the day. How far are we gone for this one?
This was 76.
76. Love it. It was great as well, because I was sat right behind your rod and it had one of them little drop backs and then just kept slowly towing round. A great sight in winter, I'm saying. This has turned into a really interesting section because on this bank, top peg's got one, second peg's got one. He's playing one there. He had two, so he's playing his third just past the line in the green jacket. He's got three. This lad's got two. And Wayne is into one here. So, the match organiser himself, the match organiser, I'm going to say, Midlands Maestro, he's playing a few. Matches have been good, Wayne, haven't they?
Very good this winter.
Yeah. Good attendances, good catches.
Yeah, averaging 18, 19, which for this time of year is brilliant. And the fish, I think, because the fishing's been a lot better this winter, obviously been a lot milder. So,
well, that's my point here. This section, like, everybody's got 1 to 3 carp. It's not like one guy's got 8 and all the rest of you are sitting here for nothing, is it? So, I'm saying you're on the, well, it's not a late comeback, so we're only halfway through, but this is the comeback charge.
the start, hopefully.
Well, you know what it's like here. You could have 3 and 3, couldn't you?
You could quite easily, yeah.
Quite easily. So, these guys down here. It's another. Is it 3 sections today, Wayne?
3 sections today, yeah. And
Yeah.
the overall winner gets a little bit more.
Oh, brilliant. Overall in 3 sections. So brilliant, brilliant little setup that is. Because obviously, like we said about Rob over there, really, I think he's massively up against it over there to win the match. Not, it wouldn't have been if it had been last week. He's a week too late. So they've all been telling me. So he's fishing for a section. And I think one of the big appeals of here has got to be the fact that it's, when you get one, it's a big one. Bearing in mind you've been waiting all this time, you've gone all this distance, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's what's got. That's the appeal for it, isn't it?
For me, I love fishing for big fish.
Yeah.
So,
Pressure moment.
pressure moment. Yeah.
Brilliant. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm just going to move back a bit because I don't want to get in the way of his landing net for this big moment. But yeah, some. You know, sort of 60, 70 metres. I've asked everybody as I've gone along. It seems to me everybody's between like 60 and 70. Because they all sort of, obviously they know the crack. Oh, it's a lovely common. Look at that. It's a lovely fish. Magic. Great job, mate. Off the mark. They're all nervous now, look. I think Stu there was nipping his feeder together, or he was shaking. I weren't sure, Wayne, which he was doing. The pressure. Stu Poulsen there. He catches a load of fish here. He is not going 70 metres. That has gone a lot further. Looks to me like a good 80. How big's he, Wayne?
8 or 9 pound.
8 or 9. Small one for here then.
Small one for here, but get us off the mark.
Well done, mate. So, it's a long time since I've seen these gentlemen here. I've got Stu Polser, Moz Williams, and the one and only Pete Caton here. And last time I saw you, Pete, you were tapping in a few pellets and shipping a pole back. So this is a bit of a different world, isn't it? How many are we on?
This is only 2. I've had 2 and lost 2.
Lost
I
2.
lost the first 2. The first one went all the way around there and come back up the stones. And the second one, just got it back to the shop leader. Great big thing, about 18 pounds. And it come off.
Oh, that's not ideal. Have we gone far for this one?
No, only about
75. Great to see. There's one down there as well, look, on the second to end peg. I've been told that is where the battle for the winners is going on, Pete, is that right?
Yeah.
So they've got like 4 or 5 have they each? Something like that.
They moved, didn't they? They was on that damn wall last week.
Yeah.
And they just moved.
So Pete's just saying the dam wall over there, well, it's been good for a few weeks, hasn't it, the old dam wall?
Good for a month.
Yeah, they reckon, you know, strong toes and a warm wind into there's made it brilliant, but now, oh, some big head nods there. Some big head nods. Look at that. Look at that. Nice mirror there. Well done, mate. Great job. That's 2. Thing is, I think anybody's in the match because these 2 on the end, apparently they've got 4 each. And then it's 2 and 2. And Moz has got 2 and Stu's got 1. How big's that, Pete?
Sorry?
How big's that one?
11, 12 pounds.
11, 12 pound. Lovely. Absolutely cracking. Nice to see the guys too. And now Mo's into one, which is great. So look, a little run of fish here, a little run of fish on this bank, and just as we have a wander back, what's really interesting is just chatting to all the guys. I love having a little wander along and chatting to the guys. You get a real feel for what's going on, and they've all been saying like the dam wall over there, basically when the nice warm southerly wind blows into it, a lot of fish have been there and it's been a good area. But this area down here, so if you ever come to Boddington, down here in the higher numbers, It's a bit more of a reliable area for bites, and they've all got 2, 3 carp, apart from the end 2 that have got like 4 and 5. So, you know, it's nice to see they're not tightly shoaled. They're not like in one peg. There's 13 of them here, I think, and they've all, you know, I think one is the lowest, and most have got 2s and 3s. So great to see. Great to see. I think viewers of our regular Monday weigh-in will know that I love some food, Rob. So what we got? What we got for a long day at the?
Unfortunately, we've not had a prepared meal, so
right.
we've got garage snacks. Okay. So
Right.
these,
Right.
have you ever had these?
No, but they look fantastic.
These are the ultimate garage crisp.
Are
Beautiful these are. I used to eat these as a kid, and then they've made a bit of a resurgence, I'm saying, over the last couple of years.
I'm gonna look that.
Obviously the Roysters, whatever the parent company is of Roysters, who's that?
Probably Walkers.
Golden
or
Wonder,
something.
I'm saying.
Golden Wonder. is it?
Golden Wonder.
Yeah.
They've obviously been on the march and they've been around a few garages.
Right.
They're in stock now. They're
Right.
beautiful, right?
Right.
Beautiful.
Roysters, if you want to sponsor this video, let us know.
So Roysters. Yeah, we could give Roysters a shout, couldn't
Yeah, give Roysters a shout. See if
So
they want to.
We've got Roysters. Then
Yeah.
in here, we've got
Better be some stuff for me.
some jerky.
God, beef jerky. This is like you on some sort of like protein build.
Well,
some beef jerky.
Yeah,
Right.
protein.
Yeah.
Then we've got,
Your nut bar.
I love them.
Yeah, you do like them.
Yeah, I
don't
do
you?
like them.
Yeah.
And then,
Got a something special treat or not?
yes, right. There's a story behind this. You know I love a banana flapjack.
Do you?
Yeah. And this particular garage they go to, they've got a stack of these banana flapjacks. They're beautiful. So I've looked down, there's the banana flapjacks.
Yellow flapjack, yeah.
Yeah. And they're all got bananas on them.
Yeah.
So I've gone like that. Obviously, it's early in the morning. You're probably not concentrating as much. I've gone like that, picked up my flapjack. Look, coming close here. I've looked at it when I've got in the van.
Yeah. It's a
Mango.
mango flapjack. Hey, listen. It could be better. You never
It
know
could
your
be
luck,
better.
do
It
you?
could be better.
You
So
know.
we've got garage snacks there. I'm going to eat my Roysters now.
Yeah.
I've got a bottle of water to wash it all down with.
Right, so you've seen the selection here, folks. This is what Rob's gone for. I've just heard a rumour that Paul Cook's got his stove down there. Said a big roach.
Just swinging a roach in.
Just stringing a roach in. I've heard a rumour that Paul Cook's got his stove down there and he's doing bacon butty. So listen, enjoy your beef jerky. I'm going to go see if Paul will do me a bacon butty with brown sauce.
Could bring us one back.
Yeah, good luck. So as you know, Rob showed us the snacks earlier. Rob showed us the snacks earlier, Cookie. He showed us the snacks and he had crappy beef jerky and he had a crappy nut bar. Cookie's just done us sausage and bacon sarnies. Go on, get it open there. Look at that. What an absolute gentleman. Look, he's got some on here. This is fishing. I mean, now we're talking. Now we're talking. You just need a fish to go with it, pal. Beautiful. Now then, Roberto, before I ask you about if you've caught any fish, what do you reckon? What do you make of these?
Look at them. That's better than a bit of beef jerky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's better than a bit of beef jerky. So they're mine. No, here you go. There's one for you, courtesy of Mr. Cook down there.
Cookie down there. Let me see.
Look at that.
That one's crispiest.
Is that you going the crispy one, are you?
Crispy one, yeah.
So come on then, while you take your sandwich, tell us what's happening. Have you caught one? Because there's a
Come and sit
rumour.
down. Come and sit down.
There's a rumour. I'll come and sit down next to you.
Come and sit down. Yeah. The answer is I've not had a carp.
Oh, right.
I've had a roach that's probably about a pound.
Okay.
That's took a liking to my wafter. So while you've been gone, I've had a roach. To my left, he's not had anything. 2 down, he's had one.
Yeah.
Just out of the blue. We've had 2 tactical changes because you've been gone probably an hour.
An hour,
maybe,
yeah. We'll say an hour, yeah.
So I put in a little bit of bait at like 72 metres, just through the
Okay.
cage.
What, micros, yeah?
Micros, tiny bit of hemp. I'll show you the mix.
Go on then, yeah. I'm interested.
So my feeling is just a little bit of something. So in a cage, rocket cage, cast it out.
What, a 72?
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you this, it didn't work. So I'm telling you all this. But my feeling is that I wanted to try feeding a little bit.
Yeah.
It's such a big expanse of water. Let's see if I can just put in 2 cages, empty it out, chuck my feeder over the top of it. I'm setting a bigger trap, in theory.
Because nothing was happening, is that what
Nothing's
you're
happening.
saying? Yeah.
Before I made the move as in searching now, I'm just basically going longer and longer. That didn't work. On another day, I think it could work. Now, I've just got the other rod, I've sticked up at 85, we've made the big move, we've gone out to 85.
Yeah.
The next move will be to inch out a little bit,
Yeah.
and now we're searching for fish, and it has turned into literally catch 1 fish.
Right. Fantastic. Well,
Tell me what's happening over
well,
there.
I'll tell you what. Get your sarnie down, yeah, and then we'll have a recap of what is happening on the other
Oh,
side.
that's beautiful.
Now, I've never had you down as an unlucky person, right? But today, Rob, several people are telling me you're unlucky.
Yeah, usually they're all claiming that I'm the luckiest guy alive. I'm like, oh, I've drew a bunghole again.
So what has happened is, last week, this peg actually was the end peg, and it won the match, 12 carp. They
Which
came
is
here.
why they've put an extra peg in
They've
this
put an
way.
extra peg in, yeah, to your left.
Mm.
Anyway, they've then come Thursday and Friday, pleasure fishing, 2 and 3 guys, caught up to 20 carp on this damn wall. Slightly to your right, like these pegs, and to your right, 20 carp a person. Right, it's like been brilliant fishing.
Mm.
Then on Sunday they came, and the 8 people that drew here Sunday blanked. And I've just walked over to the far side, and starting from this end, every single angler had at least 1 carp, with the end pegs having 4, but a lot of them have got 2s and 3s.
What's the end peg furthest away?
Yeah, the furthest away pegs have. I think they both had 4. I think I didn't go down to them as 2, but that's what everybody was saying. I mean, there's a fantastic standard of angler over there, Rob. Stu Pulser, who,
Yeah,
in my
some good lads
opinion,
over there. There's
was
some good
one of
lads.
the best ever at Tunnel Barn Farm. He,
Yeah.
I mean, everything really he's ever done, but at Tunnel Barn he was amazing. Pete Caton, that's when I used to see those guys quite a bit. Moz Williams, Wayne Sharman, who's running the match, brilliant anglers. And you can see there's a great camaraderie. I'm saying they're enjoying these matches, but they've all said you are unlucky.
Right, so we've obviously talked about the rods, haven't we?
We mentioned the rod earlier, yeah,
Right.
because it's an important rod.
As good as the rod is,
Yeah,
I'm not too sure. As good, I think I'm pretty good at chucking out.
yeah,
Right. So, good rod,
good chucker.
capable caster.
Yeah,
Do you think I could launch it
480. I'm saying you need to go for.
1,500 metres to the fish?
No, you can't. So the scores on the door in this section are NPEG's got 2, and then there are now 3 people with a solitary fish. So apart from you 2 at this end, so for without doubt, Rob, the fish are not at this end.
As far away from me as possible.
Correct. So there is 2 hours to go.
Longer and longer and longer is the way, isn't it?
I think, as your top bank runner, I would be advising 100 metres or more. Now that's a daunting task, but I think it's your best chance of catching a fish, because clearly they're not in this bit, are they?
No.
But I've just spoke to Wayne, and he was telling me that they only pay the match winner, and then 3 sections.
Yeah.
So you're only ever fishing for a section on this side, because clearly those 2 end pegs are where the fish are.
Yeah, you're fishing for a section.
You're only
That's it.
fishing for a section. The guy on the end's got 2 for £27. So he's got 2 good uns. He's got 2
And
good uns.
he's in this section, obviously.
He's in this section. He's the end peg of this section. The far end peg. Let's see if I can bring the old finger in. Here it comes. There. Right, just past Cookie, who did our beautiful sarnies.
which were lovely.
They were literally the
lovely,
best
weren't
bacon and sausage sarnie I've ever had in my entire life. So what's your move? You got it.
I'll tell you what move is. I'm really conscious that you can't get there too fast. We've got 2 hours left.
Right. Okay.
We've got 2 hours left.
Oh well, that's enough time for £100.
Yes, enough time for £100. Bites, you don't get bites quick.
You don't get bites.
If you get a
quick.
bite within 15 minutes, it's a fast bite.
It's a fast bite, yeah.
So
You're not going to get many goes at
I'm
it
not
out
going
there.
many goes at it out there. I've got one more cast in me going a bit further. So one more cast in me to go. Just chucked it 85. I'm going to go,
Which is a big chuck.
87.5 next
Yeah.
step. That's probably 10 metres further than anyone hit along this bank at the minute.
Yeah, it is. I haven't seen anyone cast past 75 on this bank.
And then I'm going to have the last hour and a half chucking it basically.
As far as you can.
Yeah, you know, and not even
100
clipping
plus.
up. Not even clipping up. Just stopping it with my finger just before it lands.
Right.
You know, so literally just wanging it out there.
Right.
So we're going to try and.
Just wanging it. Oh, I look forward to them.
Do you not fancy that? Wang
Well,
it?
I'd love to see you wang it out there, mate. It'd be absolutely fantastic.
So we've got one more cast at 87.5. Then we're going to go wanging. That's what we're going to do.
Wanging. Right, brilliant. Okay, well.
Tell me what the feel is over there, because obviously the wind's hitting this.
Well, let me tell you now, right, honestly, I'm holding the camera here. It is bitterly cold. Over there, it is 5 degrees warmer, it feels, because the wind's cold.
So we're all wrapped up
It's
in this many
It's
layers.
a northwesterly wind today, and it's off their, it's like kind of all off their shoulder. And I get the feeling the fish have moved down to that end of the lake, and they're just sort of sitting in the lee of the wind, because they're not all casting far, you know.
No.
60 to 70 metres are all casting, which is where they all think they're living. I've seen some good things. I've seen some interesting things. They certainly love the old two-tone wafter, the orange and yellow wafter, or a bit of bread.
Yeah,
Seems to be
bread.
popular. But I'm saying that that's not going to make any difference if there's no fish here. So, part of me's curious. If I wasn't here, what's your method of knowing that you've got one on in this stance?
Well, obviously, if I'm not looking,
Yeah?
as I'm not looking now, am I?
Yeah, no.
I've got my little bite alarm, which,
Oh, bite alarm.
yeah. So
Talk us through it then.
it's pretty old school. It's pretty, I think, rudimentary is the phrase, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
So if you look there, look,
Right.
I've got my drag set nice and nice and. So look, if I get a bite, listen. Did you hear it?
Oh!
Did you hear it?
Right, so basically the stone falls off and you're attached
And
to
that
one.
alerts me. That alerts me to a fish. At the minute though, there's not a lot of chance of
So-
that stone falling off, is there?
If any of you are wondering, what do I get extra when I watch edge content? You can see on the YouTube video, we've resorted to stones on a reel as a bite alarm. Unfortunately, this is the day. There is just 30 minutes left. Rob is 5 minutes into his final chuck. You can see his tester there in his bait tub. And it's not looking very promising. We're blanking here. Rob's blanking. Jack's got one from about 20 minutes in, so he's 5 hours into a blank as well. And then there's one blank, blank, 2 on the end. So 2 carp for about £27 is winning the section. We've had some excitement with grebes going through our lines. That caused the stone to fall off briefly. And sometimes, folks, even though everything you're doing looks absolutely spot on, it just does not go round. So join us for the final moments to see if we can snare one and see if Rob can be forced up from his horizontal position. if ever I was willing one man to catch a fish. Here he is, look. Minutes to go. Best bacon and sausage sandwich in Boddington. How long has that been out for?
15 minutes, but I've gone 90 metres.
Have you? 90 metres.
Doesn't seem to be anything short, does it?
No, Rob's at the same. Rob's about 95 now. What you've done is actually really made me happy, because now everybody in this section, apart from the N2, which includes Rob, has had one. So I can give him a little bit more banter, can't I, eh?
Not in yet, oh, is it?
You'll get it, you'll get it. I'm confident. Looks like a big one.
Yeah.
All right. What? You'll get it, mate. One of the big problems here at Boddington is there's a lot of big boulders, so the water's really high for the next sort of like 7-8 metres at least. So you're noticing he's keeping his rod up high, because obviously he doesn't want the line to go in the boulders and fish to get caught in the boulders. There we have it. The all out. The all out. The all out, Robert. Let's see what's in the keep net.
There was a lot of people packing up, weren't there, with
There's a
half
lot
hour
of
to
people
go?
packing up. Look, yeah, unfortunately it's not been the most exciting of days. Everybody's winding in.
I'll tell you what,
Fishless.
it's taken a long while to reel this.
Yeah, to be fair, that was a big old final chuck, mate. Certainly 100 metres for your last one. So, unfortunately, despite searching out that distance, there is something to show for it in the keep net, though.
Right, come and have a
I'm
look.
excited. I'm excited.
Come and have a look.
I've gone away, and Rob's promised me big things, so I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm going to put this
I'm
away.
excited.
Oh.
Come on then. Come on then. Let's
Get
have a
right
look.
down here,
Yeah,
so you
come on, let's have a look. Let's have a look. I'll get down here.
I don't want to get it too high out.
Oh
of the water.
yeah, of course, yeah.
Come on, there we go. Lift the net up, lift the net
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Wait, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's have a look at it. Yes, have a look. I'm ready for
Have a
it.
look.
I'm ready. Oh my god. Are you kidding? That is a that is a specimen. That is a specimen. And there it is. Hang on. Let's just get it in there to see. Oh. Yeah, that's definitely, Rob, a beautiful roach. Now, unfortunately,
What
mate,
a stunner.
he's a great roach.
Hang on.
But I've just had the rules read out to me.
No, they don't count, do they?
Unfortunately, they do count.
But only if you've caught a carp.
Only if you've caught
Lee,
a carp.
we went roach fishing the other week to try and catch a pounder.
Yeah, there's your pounder straight
That's a
away.
pounder,
Yeah,
isn't it?
there's your pounder. No, he's a pound, 100%.
Look at that for a fish.
Well done, mate. Well caught on you, Wafter. I was excited. I thought that was going to be the big
Go on, mate.
carp.
See you
But
later.
unfortunately, it's not. I suppose technically you want to say you haven't blanked because you've caught that lovely roach, but rules state that is the case, folks. And it's been a great match. Obviously, we'll grab you some final results. Thanks to everybody who's tuned in for us today.
Hey, Lee.
Thanks to the anglers.
We didn't need the unlucky mat, did we?
We did not. Well, you did for your sleep. Unfortunately, this little corner has not been the one. Folks, that's fishing. Obviously, not every video can be bagging up with 200 roach. So
I've enjoyed my day, though.
of course you have. Yeah, of course you have, mate. It's a great place to come. I can see why the guys want to come here. I've seen some great things today with some big fish caught. No doubt we'll come back again and try and put it right, Rob. Well, we're back, and that was a long day, long way for me to go down there, but I really enjoyed the day. It was really interesting to see how well the carp were spread out along that other bank, and you could just tell there was odd ones on this bank. There wasn't really like a dead hot spot area. Well done to Steph Gent winning the day with £61. He was down on peg 90, that furthest peg where we were looking at. Moz Williams, who we went and saw, was second. He had 49 pound. So you're probably talking about 6 fish, 7 fish, that sort of thing, I would guess. Maybe 8 fish if you're really unlucky for those sorts of weights. Rob's section was one with 25 pound. Terry Winston on the end peg. He's had those 2 carp for 25 pounds. So the section was there. You never know. He, you know, I shouldn't say this, should I? But he was really, really unlucky. Peg 2 next to him blanked. He blanked. 1 fish and then another blank. They were the only blanks in the whole entire match. So it just goes to show that was by far the worst area of the match, and wasn't meant to be this time round. But hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed having a little look at what some of these guys are doing. Hope you enjoyed seeing, you know, what you need to take and do if you want to go and tackle that sort of thing. And next time, you never know, might be a few more fish. But anyway, regardless, hope you've enjoyed it. See you soon. So you're saying here?
No, as if by magic, subscribe will be here.
Subscribe here.
Latest video will be here.
Here, right,
and
latest
it'll appear
video.
like now.
Oh, I've got it. Hey, do you know what? You can subscribe to our YouTube channel here, and apparently the latest video on the member section is here. Enjoy.